sunny climes of Quinta do Lago in Portugal tempted Chris Eubank as he put his WBO super middleweight title on the line against the American Ron Essett. It was billed as the treat in the heat, and Eubank had hinted it might also be his last fight as a super middleweight.
And let nobody say that Eubank is not a popular figure among supporters. The enormous crowd gathered here in the Quinta car park is here specifically to see this man. And the spice is added by the fact that this could be his last fight as WBO super middleweight champion of the world. We're scheduled for 12. This is round one. Eubank, the champion, in yellow. Essett, the challenger, in red.
Eubank stalking. Nice left hook. Showed him a left jab, turned it into a left hook.
Oh, good clubbing overhand right from Eubank.
He's really sweating, Eubanks. Dave, look at that, how much perspiration. He must have been warming up on the way down in the golf cart. He had plenty of time to warm up, mind you.
I was going to say, John Jarvis felt the effect of that right, in his case, a right uppercut in the last fight. Essett, well, he knows that Eubank has got to dig. Essett only stopped twice in the 4 defeats that he has suffered. It
was a right hand over the top that done Jarvis, wasn't it?
It was a right hand.
Yeah. Essett looks very apprehensive, moving around. He's not moving very well. Certainly, the news about his lack of footwork is certainly right. It means it's going to be easier for Eubank to get to him. Hasn't thrown a punch at anger so far, Ron Essett.
No, he's been made to wait, and it's although it's been baking hot all day, there's a chill to the evening air now, and maybe Essett has just stiffened up a little fraction. A couple of decent jabs from Essett, the first worthwhile punches he's thrown. Confident opening by Eubank. I've been watching him train. There's been a sharpness and purpose about that training. Been out in Portugal for a week, fully acclimatized.
Yes, he has started fast, David, unusually fast for Chris Eubank. His jab is sharp, his right hand sharp. He looks fabulously muscled and in tremendous condition. We haven't seen anything of Ron Essett so far. He's shown us absolutely nothing. He's a few pawing jabs.
Yeah, a couple of jabs, and that's it so far. Emphatically, the champions round scorns the stool momentarily, poses for the crowd.
It's a very lackluster round from Ron Essett. He showed us absolutely nothing. It wasn't so much a good round from Eubanks as it was a very worthless round from Ron Essett's point of view. He done nothing. He just pawed around with a couple of jabs and moved around the ring very slowly. So maybe he's got something up his sleeve for us.
Put him off his balance. But when you've made a miss, you've got to take your own.
Ronnie Davis in the Eubank corner, Freddie King as well. I was watching Eubank train in London, and training session really quite extraordinary, with him telling Ronnie Davis what he wanted to do, and also telling Simon Collins, his sparring partner, what punches he wanted him to throw. Not the traditional sort of training, but I guess you can't argue with a record of 31-0. Round two.
attack from Eubank. Picking his shots well.
Caught him with the left. Essett covered up well, but the left got through. And this is a poor start by the American. I can't believe a man who's had 2 world title fights before would freeze on this night, Barry.
Yeah, he's offering no resistance there at all. He's allowing Eubank a good right hand from him. Maybe he has something that is going to show us. Good chopping right hand right down the pipe. So maybe he has got something that he hasn't shown us so far. He better start using it because Eubank is closing down the distance between the pair of them, and he's been banging them with some good combinations.
Just a little suspicion of a swelling under Essett's right eye at the moment.
Eubank trying to draw him, make him throw punches so that he can counter. This guy's not falling into the trap, he's just blocking it. Don't know what his tactics are, but he's certainly not active, I'll tell you. Big sweeping left hook. Obviously can bang a bit because he's drawing a bit more respect from Eubank. Eubank's not pressuring him so much.
Well, as we saw in the statistics of the 25 wins, 14 inside the distance, he's not renowned as a single shot hitter, Barry.
Yeah, but he's a fair puncher.
He's a crisp
obviously.
puncher.
Yeah.
Takes you out with combinations. But Eubank, we know, does have a devastating shot. The right uppercut is the one to watch. The right uppercut, the big right overhand.
Eubank again just doesn't know what to make of this guy. Coming forward, stalking him, and hoping for Essett to throw the punches at him so he can counter.
Essett right above us. Eubank trying to pour it on.
Didn't land a good clean punch there. Clipped him with a couple, but nothing clean.
Once again, Eubank's round. Quick word about the officials. We have judges from Belgium and from the United States and from Spain, and the referee from Puerto Rico.
It was a bit better round. Jarvis threw a few more punches, but not an awful lot. Saving it, holding in reserve. He wants to go as long in this fight as he can, obviously.
Well, if there are...
Maybe he figures that Eubank's going to fade in the later stages. If it goes into the later stages.
I was going to say, if Essett figures that he does have stamina problems, then maybe that might explain the slow start, but it's a dangerous gamble. And Eubank, well, we've seen him go 12 rounds before. We know he can.
Well, Jarvis knows that Eubank doesn't like to come forward. It's a little clipping right hand again from Ron Essett. Double left jab and a fast right. Just slipped off Eubank's chin. But he knows that Eubank doesn't like to come forward, and he's just moving around, warming up and hoping to get into the fight in the later stages. But that is dangerous tactics because he could be nailed. Eubanks can really bang with that right hand, especially the overarm right. Put your lights out. He's trying to figure this guy out. Watching him, look at those eyes, the concentration. And Ron Essett is swollen around the right eye, just below the right eye.
Yes.
Definitely marked up.
Yeah, we had suspicions of that in the previous round. The right uppercut.
That's the one.
Jerked Essett's head back. And it's a dangerous ploy, allowing Eubank to dictate tactics. As we've often said, in a world title fight, you've got to go out and take the title away from the champion. And Essett is doing nowhere near that at the moment.
It's this right hand. You can see him setting it up there. Eubank's looking at the floor, turning to the left, turning to the right. Essett, that's good. A good move from Essett. Just moved around and flicked the jab. Upset his rhythm there. Didn't get off with that right hand like he'd hoped.
Essett trying to line up a cut of his own. Now it's warming up a little bit. Eubank slipping the jabs. Essett circling him. Good tactics by the American, going clockwise, anti-clockwise.
Yeah, he's moving around, flicking his jab, but he's not throwing enough punches to make the fight exciting. He's doing okay. Eubanks is winning this by the mile so far. He's just doing what he wants to do. Oh, hit Eubank on the cup protector there. Wasn't malicious. Another round for Eubank.
The view of Chris Eubank headed by Ronnie Davis.
You've got the system now, right? That's the rhythm you maintain.
We're going to take a look at that uppercut in just a moment as the ring girl carries round the card of round 4.
Eubank pushed Essett back to the ropes and it didn't really land with any great force, but did clip him right underneath the chin. He's a very upright boxer to hit him correctly with that uppercut, but it's one of his most favourite punches.
After he misses, he's off balance.
It's interesting to listen to what they say to him in the corner.
Don't get too ambitious.
That was your best.
That's one thing. That's a bit of an understatement. He hasn't been very ambitious in this fight.
Well, Eubank must be surprised with the comparative ease with the way this title defence is going. Essett has simply got to work harder.
Yeah, Essett is intent on sort of staying the distance. He's not interested in winning the fight. Certainly, the best way to beat Eubank is to outbox him, but he's not throwing any punches. He's just moving around and flicking the jab every now and again. And maybe tossing over the occasional right hand. It's not the right tactic to win a world title fight. Eubank, just step up on him a bit more. See there, he's throwing punches from out of distance and Essett can make him look a bit silly. If he actually slithers forward, steps up on top of him, flicks the jab, steps in a bit further, then wait for Essett to toss his punches and slip them and come back with his counters, because that's what he's good at. Essett, on the other hand, the tactics are okay, but he's got to throw more punches. He's got to steal more points.
As we saw in the fights that Eubank had with Michael Watson, if you want to test Eubank's stamina, you've got to come out in top gear right from the first bell and force him to work. At the moment, Essett is forcing Eubank to do nothing.
Well, either those are the tactics if you're a pressure fighter, or if you're a boxer, to get on your bike, but you've got to nip in and out and score points. He's moving around at not a great pace, so I mean Eubanks can tag him if he can step up on top of him a bit more, but Essett should be flicking more punches, just being a bit faster and sharper. Good right hand from the American. It's a good right hand from Ron Essett.
Well, we know that Eubank has got a good jaw. but he will not want it to be tested too often, and not like that.
That's for sure.
They're having trouble keeping the footing, some of the boxers in this ring tonight.
No, in actual fact, both of the times that he slipped in this round, he stood on Essett's lead foot, the left foot.
Better round for the American, that one.
Up the action at the start of round 9. Essett, making his third attempt to win a world title, is well behind on points and time is running out.
9, 10, you've got 4 rounds to go. Come on, it's a 4-round fight. And you're in great shape. Come on. You can hurt this guy.
Mickey Duff, good motivator.
Good motivator, good tactics. Obviously they're worried about him in the corner, but if they're having to tell him, come on son, you got something left, you must be seeing how tired he is.
No, you shouldn't need motivating in a world title fight. The fact you're going for a world title should be all the motivation you need.
Yeah, it's good to have motivation in the corner. Oh, slipping all over the place.
They are finding this canvas slippery.
Yeah, a little bit. Again. This guy's proving tricky for Eubank. He's finding it difficult to work out. He's got nice fast hands. He might be a fast mover, but he's got fast hands, and those punches are moving quite quickly.
Oh, good jab.
You see, Eubanks is trying 1s and 2s, but it's the right hand. When he throws the 2 combination, it's the right hand that goes first, and then the big left hook. If he tried a quick, fast 1-2, he'd hit this guy right on the button. You can see it, just flick that jab, 1-2 quick, and he'd nail him. On the other hand, he's got to wait for Essett to throw, and Essett seems to be the quicker of the puncher of the two, you know. Seems to be getting his punches off slightly quicker. Lighter hitter, but slightly quicker.
Yes, I was going to say, of Eubank's opponents that we've seen, I think Essett's probably got the fastest hands of them all.
Yeah, don't be surprised if he touches for Eubanks with a good right hand, because he's flicking that jab well. And he's doing what I'm saying. The 1-2 is a really good shot. Thick, fast left hand, blind your opponent, pop that right hand over. He's using the jab more effectively than Eubank. Eubank is throwing too much weight in that big right hand. He's predictable, you can see it. That's why he hasn't landed.
As he's done in the past, Eubank at the moment doing just enough to nick most of the rounds. I've given the American 2 or 3 on my card, but certainly no more than that.
Essett's starting to open up a bit and throw a few more punches. He's getting into the fight now. This is the best round for him so far. Yes, Eubank's got to use that jab. That's better for him. You'll find that he lands far more punches when he uses the jab to prize this guy open. Those little cuffy combinations are doing nothing at all to Essett. Got to land a quick, clean, straight punch.
Second out, round 10.
Three rounds left in the Quinta del Lago, the treat in the heat. Well, it's been hot. Hasn't exactly been a treat, though. We looked for something dramatic in the last 3 rounds.
It certainly hasn't been a treat. It's been a boring fight at times. No pieces of action, but clash of styles again. Eubank has to have somebody to come at him to make it a real exciting fight. And better stuff now. The action's hotting up. I feel sure if Eubanks used that left jab more with the 1-2, he'd land far more punches. He's far more effective when he lands long, clean punches.
And Eubank sufficiently aware to wave to Essett's corner and tell him to shut up.
Yeah, Eubank's making heavy weather of this opponent. He really should have had him out of here by now.
Well, if this is to be Eubank's swan song as the WBO super middle champion, not the finish he would have wished, but there are 2.5 rounds left for him to salvage from what has been, it has to be said, a pedestrian contest.
Right hand. Well, it's just one punch. Not enough. Really, you know, Essett looks really distressed sometimes when Eubanks catches him with a punch or lands. There's a good combination now in the corner. That's better from Eubanks, but you know, he's got to be more consistent. It just has to be. And, you know, if he was more consistent with those sort of powerful punches, he would have a devastating effect on Essett. Oh,
good
right hand.
Good right from Essett.
Standing back and admiring his good work, and he stops a good right hand, Eubank.
Well, tonight really is an example of Eubank that is most infuriating.
Essett using that flicking jab well.
You just wonder how the judges are going to see this. We've got judges from Belgium and from Spain and from the United States.
I never thought it would go into the second half of the fight myself.
I never thought it would go the distance, and it looks like it might do just that.
This guy's put up a good fight, there's no question about that, but he really isn't in Eubank's class.
The pose from the champ. Ronnie leads him back to the corner, Ronnie Davis, that is. Well, let's take a look at one of the rare bits of action in that round.
Yeah, this is Eubank when he had Essett in his own corner, throwing some good combinations, but again, when he gets close, it's difficult for him to land cleanly because he shows those shots. And watch Essett looking through the peekaboo guard, looking at those shots coming through, watching for them.
If you weren't at home, it wouldn't be tight, but it's tight. You understand?
Seconds out, round 11.
Words of Nicky Duff, it's tight. No, I guess it's tight for Essett because I've got him 3 rounds behind going into this round 11.
Oh, bit of a cheeky one from Eubanks. Essett put his hand out and he flicked the jab at him.
Well, maybe that'll spur them into something.
It would be impressive for Eubanks to finish fast and strong. Ooh, that left hook was solid. Good uppercut again.
He ducked into that.
Yeah,
I think he was expecting the big overhand right. Turned into the right uppercut. Better from Essett. That's more like it. If only he'd have done more of that. But if it goes the trip, as I say, 2 European judges and an American judge.
If he stood out a bit more, give himself a bit more leverage.
I suspect these little flurries.
Cleaner punches. He stopped a good shot himself, Eubank, in that combination. Stopped a good left hook.
But I suspect these flurries good enough to be winning rounds for him.
I think he's winning the fight comfortably, but it's just not an impressive performance by him.
Essett's turned in this.
Eubank flicking that jab again, just step up. He's got to step up on his opponent a bit more. He can't teach an old dog new tricks, but he's got to try and improve on his offensive work. Good defense, but not good enough in offense. Those punches are so powerful, but he keeps missing with them, and that takes more out of you than actually.
That's so right.
Landing the shot.
And he slips. Three punches.
Yeah. Well, a bit of Michael Jackson moonwalk in there.
Yeah. Bit of a late call for more action.
Oh, good right.
Good shot.
He looks impressive sometimes. Just not consistent enough.
That, for me, puts it way beyond any doubt now. And it's a shame that the crowd, who was so pro-Eubank when he came in, now starting to turn against him.
Yeah, they're showing how frustrated they are.
Yes, they came expecting fireworks. Haven't seen them so far.
Bit of action on the ropes here. There's a right hand, but look at how close Eubanks gets. And, you know, those punches aren't getting through because he's just not setting himself and giving himself enough time. Picking his shots a bit better.
It wouldn't be beyond Eubank to string us all along for 11 rounds and then dump his man in round 12. We are approaching round 12, the final round of this WBO super middleweight world title fight at Quinta do Lago in Portugal. And for Barry McGuigan and myself, the title is not going to change hands. But as we often say, our opinion doesn't matter. It's the three ringside judges from Spain and from Belgium and from the United States of America.
That is, of course, if Essett doesn't chin Eubank from the last round, but
or vice
that looks
versa.
unlikely.
Or vice versa.
Vice versa. It would be impressive for Eubanks to stop him in this last round, but you know, Essett's still got plenty of stamina left in this round, so his stamina hasn't been.
Well, the pace
to the test of this fight.
The pace has been pretty slow throughout, and Essett's stamina has really not been put to the test at all. I'm watching out of the corner of my eye, Mickey Duff urging Essett to come forward, throw punches.
He started this round off well. Eubank's landing the better quality punches, the ones that he throws. Wasting a lot of punches, just slipping over Essett's head. Essett's both fighters very tired at this stage. Essett's trying harder than Eubanks. You know, Eubanks should be putting in a more sustained finish, to finish impressively, and just to make sure of it. He's got the fight won, but it's impressive to finish strong.
We're inside the last minute of this world title fight. Chris Eubank, number 8 world title fight in the last 19 months. That's how he keeps trim. He has world title fights.
Good right hand from Eubank.
And a good left counter. Well, it's a good last round from Eubank, and I'm sure this will sew it up for him.
Eubank looks tired himself. This has been a frustrating night for him. He's missed with a lot of punches, that's taken a lot out of him. But I think he's done enough.
Well, he can infuriate and delight. Essett giving it the big number. I don't think so, somehow. I really don't. Ed Levine, the WBO supervisor, is collating the judges' scorecards. Here we go.
Judge Rafael Gomez Bravo scores the contest 110 to 118. Robert Ballo scores the contest 113 to 117. Van Vrutenbruel scores the contest 112 to 117.
That's what I scored it.
And still
By a mile. I made it 117, 112. And that is what Andre von Grutenbuhl made it. Robert Balog made it 117, 113. And Rafael Gomez Bravo 118, 110.
A unanimous decision for Eubank. He'd hinted at retirement before the match, but the boxing world certainly hadn't seen the last of a man who couldn't resist the lure of the spotlight.